So upcoming Friday nights, me and the degenerate boys that we are, we're coming back with the betting show.
You look at the way he bounces off tacklers, the way that he keeps his eyes downfield, his vision, his ability to find holes, his pass catching ability, right? Because he had.
In my lifetime, I'd put him at probably around the 2 area, with, again, the only other person up there being King Rippy.
Anthony Richardson or Caleb Williams at the 111.
Yeah.
So just hit us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports, where we do a little BS. We talk a whole lot of sports. There's 2 of you.
Is there 2 of me?
If you look at the bottom, like in the studio.
Yeah, no, I see that. And it just kicked me off mid. There we go. Went away.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports, where we do a little BS and we have a whole lot of technical difficulties. So apologies, a couple minutes behind, no big deal. We started last week with just the Dynasty outlook of the skill position players on every single team. And we were originally going to do the whole NFL last week, and then it took us like 30 minutes to clear one division. So we pivoted real quick to doing just the AFC. We're going to pick up with just the NFC. But the most important thing you'll hear about this entire episode is this is the last episode we are going to do with no NFL football, as the first game is in 5 days.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great one. Mainly because it's going to be a high-scoring one. Because the Dallas Cowboys traded away Michael Parsons.
I disagree. The only reason I disagree, I mean, that seems like, the obvious answer, and I don't hate it. My opinion is that because the Eagles starters took exactly 0 snaps the entire preseason, I think they come out a little slow. Let's see. So we've got Tim Brandt popping in saying, "Oh man, I like the comments coming up on the side of the screen." And then Ginger says, "Finally, someone on the show that knows ball, aka Ryan Taylor Swift." I have a question for you. Do you think Taylor Swift's going to change her last name to Kelsey?
No, not at all.
I don't think so either. Do you think she'll hyphenate it? Swift Kelsey?
Mm-mm. If anything, it will be Travis Swift. So
yeah, I was about to say, do you think Travis will end up changing his name?
It's probably in their, agreement.
Dude, the lawyers are probably running to get these fucking prenups signed. Let me tell you something, especially on Taylor's side. I mean, Travis makes a lot of money anyway, but he makes pennies compared to what Taylor Swift makes.
Dude, I don't even think he makes pennies to her. He makes like 0.1 cent to her.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we are going to touch on the NFC today. I'm sure it'll come up, but obviously most of week 1 of the college season is finished as well. Congratulations, Jake and LSU, for starting out 1-0. I do rag on Brian Kelly a lot. Looked like he had the defense ready to go. Clemson, and Garrett Nussmeier, who arguably is the best quarterback in college football, with a very, very sweet throw in the fourth quarter to give them the lead. So how did you feel about that game?
I feel like the score was not indicative of what the game actually was. I felt like LSU had it handled pretty much the entire game. And Nussmeier 100% looked like the quarterback everybody wants him to be as a QB1 and a first-round draft talent. The defense was the surprise. They came to play, the Weeks brothers and Perkins, probably the best linebacking trio in the college football right now. They came to play. Safeties, corners, just from top down. Defense just looked leaps and bounds better from last year. Granted, we had a ton of injuries in Weeks and Perkins, those guys that I named, they were out last year. And so LSU looked good, and I'm kind of happy, but at the same time, I'm still going to temper my expectations because it is a Brian Kelly ran team, and he's finally won a big game.
That was probably the first big game I've seen Brian Kelly win. We're up to 10 views, so I will drink this coffee. So Gingy points out LSU coach got bodied by a ref, weak ass coach. I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, no, he got trucked. The ref was running backwards, and Brian Kelly got trucked. I'm shocked that the guy on the right looks deranged. Who's red and blue 22?
I already know who it is. It's somebody we both know.
Huh? Is it Bolton?
No, I don't think so. I think Ginger made another account. Because I was scrolling up to the top and I saw the back-to-back Jake sucks, and I was like, that's got to be Ginger, right? I was like,
I don't know if he can run 2 accounts, can he? I don't know. Who knows?
Dude, maybe he's got the recruiter phone up. That's his recruiter account. Not me. I'm OG. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, let's kind of jump to the topic here. We will start out with the NFC East and the dynasty outlook there. And the first team we will talk about in the NFC East is the Washington Commanders, the first and probably only player I want to talk about because it'll probably take 30 minutes of the show. Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, how he wants to be called. What's the deal here, Jake? In your opinion, is the hype out of control? Is it legitimate? What do we got going on here?
I honestly think the hype is completely out of control. People need to stop, because there is a guy on the team right now named Austin Eckler, who I think is the starting running back, and I think is going to be the bell cow until he gets hurt. Now, once he gets hurt, or if he does, then we can start talking about Bill being something special. But he hasn't done anything special yet. He's fast, sure, but like everybody talks about that one run he had for 30 yards where literally I think you could have scored, Ryan. Like the hole was huge. There was just nobody there.
I'm glad you recognized my talents.
I should have said Gingy could have got there. But, yeah, no, to me it's out of control. And other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Terry signed, so I love that.
3 years, $96 million. All it took was the threat of week 1 showing up to get the deal done.
I think he deserved every bit of it after what he did last year and being with the team. I get it, it's a business, but, I mean, you need Jaden Daniels to have somebody to throw to, and no offense, Debo is not it. Luke McCaffrey's not it.
Jalen Lane, baby. Jalen Lane.
Jalen Lane is a lot.
Zach Ertz.
Yeah, no.
So I agree with your Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt take. The hype is insanely out of control. This is a guy, yes, he was dealing with ineligibility issues his last year of college, which is probably why he fell to the 7th round. But the production profile was all right in college. I still don't think that even with eligibility his last year that he would have been anything significant or fantastic. I do think the Commanders trading Brian Robinson means they are comfortable with the backfield they have. Now, a lot of people assume that is Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, but Chris Rodriguez also looked pretty good in the preseason, and it's his 3rd year in the system. So he could very well potentially be in front of Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt to start the season. Real quick, let's pivot to a question. Miles Young. Hey, guys. What's going on, Miles? Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't. Should I trade Puka for Achane? Need running backs, but got depth at wide receivers, Jettis, JSN, etc. Full PPR. I've never heard of etc. That's a new player. Definitely. Don't know who that is. No, I'm just messing around. So, yeah, if you could give us your full roster, that would help us make the decision a little bit easier. But if you do have Jettis and JSN, that is definitely a good start at wide receiver.
I would, just from that alone, I would see if you could trade JSN and something else to get A-Chain.
That is, you know what? That's a good point. I would probably look that way too, just because I feel like Jackson Smith and Jigba is, especially in Dynasty, I think he's a tad overrated. He finished as wide receiver 9 last year, which is obviously impressive to finish inside the top 12 as a wide receiver 1. But when you break it down further, the points per game, he was wide receiver 20 in PPR. So that tells me that his finish was largely catapulted by the fact that other guys got hurt. We talk about it all the time on the show. Availability is the best ability, but availability is also a year-to-year thing. So also, I don't know how much better, if at all, that offense is going to be this year. I know in the one drive that the starters played this year or in the preseason, Sam Darnold actually looked pretty good, but I expect a run-heavy offense. I do expect a little bit of regression. I just, JSN for me, I feel like is harder for him to hit his ceiling and where he's valued at right now versus a guy like Puka who has Matthew Stafford throwing the football.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So moving on from the Commanders, we've got the Cowboys. The 2 notes that I have are about the running backs. I guess it's Javonte.
Yep.
That's a running back room that I don't want anything to do with. Phil Maffa's on IR. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue? ? I mean, the Cowboys are going to lead the NFL in passing attempts. So the only players that I want from the Dallas Cowboys are in my fantasy lineup are Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson.
Yeah, definitely want Jake Ferguson. I think he has very high, top 6 fantasy value at tight end. That's my sleeper pick of the year for sure at tight end. They just signed him back. He's healthy, and he has Dak, and Dak loves to throw to his tight ends. He bolstered a Dalton Schultz back-to-back tight end 1 years. So,
and he just got married to one of the twins, the one that the other one that Carson Beck cheated on or whatever.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
yeah, I saw a TikTok about that the other day. So I don't even know their names.
Random fact.
Yeah, he's married, he's engaged to the other twin, not the one that Carson Beck transferred to Miami for and then cheated on. He's married to the other one.
Bro's not.
Bro's not on TikTok. Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Respect. Yeah, so how are Hello.
What? You're there, buddy.
What?
Yeah, you're there. What's up?
Oh, okay. So how do you feel about the other pass catchers on the Cowboys, specifically George Pickens?
I love George Pickens in this offense. I think this offense is going to be fine. Javonte Williams will be serviceable. He will be just as good, if not better, at pass pro than Tony Pollard was, and all these guys, Rico Dowdle. I see him having the same type of fantasy output there that they had. And so they were serviceable. I don't mind that one bit. Pickens, I think this is where he needs to be, where Dak can just throw deep balls if CD's getting double covered. So I tried to get Pickens shares, but people are overhyped about a wide receiver 2 on an offense and want a first, and I'm just not going to pay that. And so, no, this is good for Dak. He has no excuse not to make the playoffs and win playoff games. So,
well, I don't agree. I mean, I don't agree at all with that take. I mean, that defense is terrible. The Cowboys are definitely not going to make the playoffs. Now, that being said, as far as a fantasy outlook goes, there's no excuse Dak should not finish top 12.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
0. I do have that in my notes, though, that the Pickens trade was better for Dak than it was Pickens. I know when it initially came out that, George Pickens always going to the Cowboys. He's going to have such a huge upgrade. from a fantasy standpoint, I feel like, his efficiency will be better. His volume will be a tick down because he's no longer the wide receiver one on the team. And he's behind a true wide receiver one in CeeDee Lamb. It's not like there's any real competition for that. But what he loses in volume, I think, will gain in efficiency. So I do think that George Pickens is serviceable. I never would have paid a first for George Pickens in Dynasty. I was never particularly high on him to begin with. I still wouldn't do it, but maybe if I was a contending team, I knew my first was going to be late, I would ask for like George Pickens in a second. I would need something else back on that side. Red and Blue 22 says, what position does Dak play on defense?
He could play anything.
Yeah. So that's why I said what I said. The Cowboys aren't going to make the playoffs now, especially with Micah gone. But I do think that Dak Prescott has no excuses not to be a QB1 unless he faces the inevitable injury. The only note that I have for the next team, Philadelphia Eagles, I expect them to throw the ball more, combination of different things. One, Saquon Barkley just had an absolutely historic season, and the reason it's historic is because it's hard to produce. So I just see natural regression coming from that anyway. Number two, I think the Eagles do try to protect Saquon a little bit more. 465 touches, I think, last year, including the playoffs. That's an insane number, and if they want to keep him healthy and upright, they will definitely need to find a way to scale that back. Number three, that number, could potentially drive an injury for Dak Prescott, Saquon Barkley, and at that point, the Eagles are just going to throw the ball. I know a lot of people like Will Shipley as the running back too. A.J. Dillon's there now. But if Saquon goes down and misses any sort of extended period of time, they're just going to let Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown go get it. And then the other side to that is, Saquon, a large reason why Saquon got so many touches last year is because he was the only skill position player that stayed healthy. So there are three relevant players in the Eagles passing attack. That's Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Dallas Goedert. And all of them missed multiple games last season. So I do think that regression will fade to the side of passing. I see more volume coming this year. Even without the volume and the league low by a lot in passing attempts last year, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Devontae Smith were all very serviceable pieces in your lineup. A.J. Brown finished top 12 in points per game. Devontae Smith finished top 20 in points per game. Those dudes are going to eat regardless.
As far as the Eagles go, thank you for that, Ryan. He just left. But yes, red and blue, that is a fridge. Just bouncing out there, bud?
Yeah, so when I said, what the heck? So what had happened was by the screen where I can see you, you can see me, just went black. So I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see your facial expressions. I couldn't see nothing. And then I was like, I'm going on a rant here and I can't see his reactions. I'm tired of this. So let me get out of here and come back in.
All right.
It's because I'm downloading clips from your guys' show on Friday night in the background. So I think StreamYard's doing a whole lot right now.
StreamYard's saying help. But yeah, the Eagles, I want every player on the Eagles that I can get. I think their offense is going to be elite, and to expect the same type of production from Barkley is kind of childish to think that that's going to happen again. But
I have real quick. I have an inspiration for you before you go off on the Eagles. This comment here, is that a fridge, has inspired me to tell you that you should get a name tag that says Perry and just throw it on the fridge behind you.
Nice. Might do that. I think I could do that.
Go ahead.
But no, I've been trying to get A.J. Brown everywhere I can. People are down on him for his age, and him just kind of regressing. So to me, that's the guy I'm targeting for the Eagles. And so, I'm giving up a late first if I'm competing for him, no problem. you're going to have him for the next few years, and he'll produce. So
That I've seen a lot of weird evaluations about AJ Brown this offseason. A lot of people making statements that, he's getting older, and which obviously is true. Everybody gets older every year, but he's only 28 years old, like just turned 28. When did 28 start becoming like an old age in Dynasty? I think that a lot of people, AJ Brown's just been around in the league for so long, right? He's going into his 7th season, I believe. So a lot of people are kind of confusing that with the fact that he's a little older, and he's really not. To your point, you get him for 3 more years, easy. Like if you're a contender, go buy AJ Brown. He's going to produce 16, 17 points per game for the next 3 years, and that is, something that I want every piece of.
Mm-hmm. I concur. Man.
So is that it for the Eagles for you?
Yeah, that's it for the Eagles. I mean, you can't go wrong with anybody.
Last team.
Starting to think red and blue 22 is no, it's not him. Never mind.
Who?
I thought it was going to be Dennis, but because red and blue is the Giants. But
It is not Dennis.
do you know who it is?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
If you get it right, I'll let you know.
No,
But anyway,
fine.
he said AJ
I'm
Brown
not going to
is
entertain it, so it's fine.
barely older than Bo Nix. I mean, does it matter?
I love that everybody thinks Bo Nix is so old when literally Jaden Daniels is the same age. Fucking Penix is basically the same age. It's just, but it's
so the last team in the NFC East that I want to talk about, I have one bullet point for. You're more than welcome to add on anything else you want to talk about. It's Jackson Dart, the New York Giants. Jackson Dart, I was like cautiously optimistic on him compared to the market throughout the offseason just because his underlying rushing numbers in college were legit. I felt like that gave him a very safe floor coming into the NFL and being a fantasy producer. Mm-hmm. But if you watch the film from the preseason, some of the stuff, like some of the throws he was making, like, and the way that he almost looked like he could run an NFL offense almost was pretty impressive, considering when you looked at the Gruden film or the tape of him with John Gruden, and he didn't know how to do a snap count or anything like that, and he took every snap from shotgun. There were some concerns there, but I think Jackson Dart performed pretty well on the film in the preseason, and he definitely has the legs to support some fantasy upside. Jake, what is your take on Jackson Dart and potentially anything else you have on the New York Giants?
1 second. Oh, thought I had a sneeze. Jackson Dart looks like the piece you want to have in that offense. It looks like they will give him the shot probably halfway through the season, if I had to guess, because Russell Wilson's not it. And the only piece I want on that offense is Malik Neighbors. That's it.
I think I'd be okay with having Tyrone Tracy if I was a contending team.
Yes, Tracy is a bad, but
like depending on what it costs to get him, like I wouldn't be against it. But yeah, I agree. As far as like, bona fide assets, like if I'm rebuilding, the only 2 players I want, Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors. If I'm contending, the only player that I'm really going after is Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. And good luck getting him.
Yeah. Moving on to the NFC North, where there is a lot of to talk about because there's a lot of good teams in this division. We will start with the Bears and their wide receiver room. Luther Burden doesn't look like he's going to be too much of a factor. I kind of just based on the vibes, that I'm hearing from the beat writers at camp, the deep, dark corners of the Dynasty world on the internet, and some of the stuff Ben Johnson's saying. Sounds like Luther Burden's in the same boat as Trey Harris to me, where he's probably a pretty good taxi squad candidate on your Dynasty roster. Have you heard anything differently, or do you feel a different way about Luther Burden?
No, I'm honestly just staying away from everybody on the Bears offense. I don't know who's going to do what. I don't know who's going to be productive. And so for that, I would just sell all the hype that you can around that offense and try and pick up a more consistent player.
I'm sitting here thinking about it, trying to, see who outside of Odunze, I don't think anybody's really getting hyped up. I know that there's like mixed bag results about Colston Loveland and DJ Moore. I don't know. Like, it seems like people in the Dynasty community, from what I've read, are cautiously optimistic about the Bears or cautiously pessimistic. Like, nobody can really make up their minds. So, especially on Caleb Williams.
I think Caleb Williams will do golf things. I think Ben Johnson's offense is that of which Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, KOC, all those, it's that offense. He comes from that tree. It is quarterback proof. So I don't worry about Caleb Williams at all. And if golf can do it, Caleb Williams can do it. He has the talent around him. He literally just has to facilitate, and maybe he'll stop playing hero ball.
Yep, that is the big thing. Is it does seem like a conflict of Caleb Williams' style versus what Ben Johnson's offense really tries to get the quarterback to do. So that'll be interesting to see. Last note I have on the Bears is, and this could be irrelevant because it seems like DeAndre Swift is the clear number one, but who is the handcuff running back to own? It seems like Roschon Johnson. I haven't heard too much about him this offseason. Kyle Monangai was getting a bit of a drum beat there for a little bit. Are you particularly interested in either of these players if you own DeAndre Swift?
Clearly with Swift's injury history, you would want the backup for a handcuff if you own Swift. And to me, it would be Johnson. Kyle Monangai hasn't done anything special. Wasn't a high draft capital guy. So to me, it doesn't matter. And Roschon, to me, I could see being the Montgomery piece to that offense.
Yeah, it is curious to see how that backfield plays out. I know in the very beginning when Ben Johnson got hired, there was a lot of negativity towards DeAndre Swift because he was on the Lions when Ben Johnson was, the offensive coordinator, and he, quote unquote, got rid of DeAndre Swift, which I didn't know coordinators made roster decisions, but that's neither here nor there. So
what's funny, though, is DeAndre Swift did really well in that offense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people seem to really forget that despite missing like 3 games each season, he was the top 24 running back.
So,
yeah. So I see a lot of receptions in DeAndre Swift's future.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on to said Lions. So I think collectively you'll see some natural regression from that offense. The fact that they averaged over 4 touchdowns a game last year is absolutely unsustainable. That's just an insane number. That being said, there is a ton of talent on that team, and I do not believe that the loss of Ben Johnson will impact the fantasy floor of the skill position players as much as the rest of the Dynasty community tends to believe. Jake, what is your take on the Lions offense and the loss of Ben Johnson?
I see a huge regression here. I want to see how the offense flows. There's still going to be a good offense. I can't take that away. No matter how much I hate Jared Goff, you still have St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Laporta, the backfield in Gibbs and Montgomery, and that offensive line is going to allow him to throw the ball. So, a slight tick back in regression, like you said, but
your 180 on Jared Goff should be studied. I remember 2 years ago, it was, Jared Goff's the man. And now it's like, nope, I'll even sell him at the QB 22 price. We need to do a case
and
study.
I was 100% correct, but I think I'm not thinking about it from fantasy anymore. I'm thinking of it as fully how I view him as a quarterback, which everybody got to see in the playoffs. When it matters most, he Dak Prescott's it.
But it doesn't matter.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
For
I think that's
fantasy,
where my
that doesn't.
180 comes from.
Yeah, but fantasy, it doesn't matter one bit. So why would you sell him so cheap in fantasy?
Because fuck that guy. That's why.
Do I have a doll here? Show me on the doll where he hurt you.
Right here. Right here, dude. It's right here.
You're not even a Lions fan.
I'm not, but I want to see them succeed when the Broncos weren't in the playoffs. And they were my darling.
Yeah, I feel like they were like a feel-good story for a lot of people. Not me, because there's 30 teams in the NFL I don't like and one that I really hate. So, but yeah, I do expect natural regression. Like I said, in the similar tone that I was talking about Saquon Barkley earlier, it's just naturally going to happen. You're not going to sustain over 4 touchdowns a game. I don't think we're going to see Penei Sewell throw any passes now that Ben Johnson's gone, but I don't expect Jared Goff to just all of a sudden be terrible and that the Lions are going to average like 3 yards a carry. Amon-Ra St. Brown's still going to get his. Jameson Williams will still be involved. Laporta will be involved. Gibbs will be a guy. Monty will score a lot of touchdowns. There's just too many pieces there. And Dan Campbell, offensive guy. So I think the meat and potatoes are in place. Just, you'll see a couple tweaks.
Yeah, I'll see it.
The new and improved.
We'll see how it goes.
The new and improved Green Bay Packers, fresh off their trade with Michael Parsons. Only note I have about them: Matthew Golden will be their wide receiver 1 by the end of the year. Not a wide receiver 1, not like a top 12 wide receiver, but the Packers wide receiver 1 will lead that team in targets.
Yes. I think that's a pretty easy goal to have. Matthew Golden can catch the ball. Can't say the rest of the receivers can do that. And so by that logic alone, Matthew Golden is going to see a lot of volume. I still think Josh Jacobs is going to see a lot of volume. I still think Kraft and Musgrave are going to see it. And once again, it's one of these offenses where any week somebody can eat. And that's what I don't like about it. So me kind of staying away from everything. I did trade for a golden share just because I had none. And so I wanted one. But
I made another trade for a golden share last night.
I saw. Wait, after the one you sent me? Or
No, it was the one that I sent you.
Okay, yeah.
Felt like it was time to get out of the middle in that league. Got to do something drastic. Generally, it's easier to rebuild than it is to.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Dude wanted my 2 young studs for what you got, and I was just like, nah, not going to happen.
I mean, I can't say I blame the guy because sometimes when I get an offer like that, I offered him Nico Collins, ETN, and Bigsby for Matthew Golden, 26 first, 27 first. You might as well send out that package you're sending out in that trade to other teams and see if you can get more for it.
Yeah, no, the minute I declined it, he accepted yours.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I accidentally clicked accept, and my stomach dropped, and I was like, no. And then I was like, oh, it's yours. Okay.
Yeah, so he didn't counter the trade directly. He came up with a new trade where I got Golden and those 2 firsts for Nico Collins, Tank Bigsby, and who was it? Ricky Pearsall. And I was like, no. That's not going to happen.
That's
so
way too much.
So yeah, he's already getting an entire backfield and the best player in the deal. So I'm sure he loves that considering his team.
Absolutely.
Last team in the NFC North, we're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings with J.J. McCarthy at the helm. I know a lot of people are concerned because they saw 1 drive in the preseason. That being said, it sounds like that the drumbeat from camp is very, very, very different than that 1 drive. A large portion of why he's not playing is being reported as he looks like, whether it's joint practices with other teams or just regular practice in itself, J.J. McCarthy looks like he's got a good handle on the offense, Looks like he's throwing pretty good ball. Kevin O'Connell doesn't feel the need to put him out there, doesn't feel the need that he needs to prove himself, particularly with Jordan Addison suspended and Justin Jefferson spending time on the sideline. No real need since you're not going to get reps with the guys that you throw to in game anyway. What is your take on J.J. McCarthy this year?
My take is he's going to do exactly, if not better, than what Sam Darnold did. I think he understands that offense. He has a year in it, whether he was injured or not. But what we saw him do in the preseason last year was every bit, if not better, than Sam Darnold. And he was actually more than likely going to win out that job before he got injured. That was the talks. People forget that. So I think he can do everything that Kevin's asking him to do in that offense. And he has rushing ability. People forget that. So
go ahead. I thought you were done.
Oh, no. So I think everybody's going to eat in this offense. JJ's going to do good. I know he's nursing a groin injury right now. But the person I think that's not getting a fair shake is TJ Hawkinson. Like, he is a top 5 tight end, and I feel like nobody cares about that. But people saw what Loveland did at Michigan with JJ, and they're like, oh, he's not going to throw the tight end. That's not how this works.
Yeah, I also have high aspirations for J.J. McCarthy this year. And one of the other things that seems to be flying under the radar is that the Vikings have let go or traded just about any like big name, quote unquote, big name backup quarterback on their team, right? They let Daniel Jones walk in free agency. They traded Sam Howell away. I mean, I don't think anybody even knows who their backup quarterback is anymore. Carson Wentz, actually, who they just signed last week, is their backup quarterback.
Which to me sounds more toxic.
Yeah, so the Vikings obviously have all the faith in the world, and it doesn't seem like the Dynasty community is fully bought in. J.J. McCarthy, again, sneaky rushing upside, so I'm glad you pointed that out. I think he'll be a top 12 fantasy quarterback this season.
Oh, yeah.
NFC South. You need a shot of espresso there, buddy.
Yeah, no, the coffee's at the house right now. So I'll get that before church.
Yep. So real quick, I've got nothing for the Falcons and the Panthers, so we can kind of roll through them if you have anything.
Yeah, I got everything, dude. What are you talking about?
There you go. All right, what do you got for? We'll start with the Falcons.
Kyle Pitts, it's his year, baby.
Yeah, I hope that's an AI-generated clip that's going on TikTok. That's going.
But honestly, I think Kyle Pitts is going to do a lot better in this offense. Mooney's kind of beaten up. Bijan's getting all the attention. And Penix has said we're going to see Kyle Pitts eat. Not the exact words, but he said Kyle Pitts is going to have a year. And he also said, Drake London, you're going to remember his name. And so
I haven't forgotten Drake London's name. So
no, I don't think anybody's forgot his name, but to me, he is – I love this offense. I love what they did on defense. And so I think Penix is the guy to unlock it because he can throw the ball deep. He loves to push the ball downfield. And they have all the pieces to do that.
I think this is very good. I think Penix is very good for Bijan because Penix isn't going to run and take off.
He can, though. But he's not going to. He can escape the pocket, extend plays, and that's what you want from a quarterback.
Yeah.
He ran that incredible 40-yard dash that everybody was shocked about. Did he not?
I don't remember that.
I might be losing my mind. Pretty sure he did. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean, he might have. I just don't remember it. So I guess it's not really that memorable.
1 second.
No, I'm just you could be spot on, man. I don't remember. I know he had quite a few lower body injuries in college, so that kind of prevented his rushing.
Yeah, he ran a 4.53 to a 4.59 on his pro day.
Well, he's pretty good.
Yeah, so he has some wheels. which is just used to escape the pocket. Like Ryan said, I don't think he's going to be a huge rushing upside, but I think he is going to throw the ball down the field. And if you look at his 3-week sample size that he gave, he did a ton. And so I love Penix. Sadly, I traded away my only share of him to get more pieces, but it's fine. It's fine.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
And then the Panthers, I think Tet's the guy. I don't think it's remotely close. I think he's going to be force-fed targets. And so if you got Tet, congratulations. I think you got a stud.
I have multiple shares of Teteroa McMillan. I'm happy about it.
Good for you. If you drafted Travis Hunter, big L for you.
If you drafted Travis Hunter over Teteroa McMillan. Yeah, I agree. I was never in on the Hunter over McMillan thing that was going around for a little bit during draft season. Not my style. I've said that a few times. So let's talk about the New Orleans Saints because they just named their starting quarterback. I made this sheet prior to them naming their starting quarterback, and I am still leaving that note in there because I still believe it.
I don't.
My top note is Tyler Shuck is the guy to own between him and Spencer Rattler. That being said, he still has, a long way to go. So him being benched in the very beginning of his career may not be the worst thing in the world. I would have actually been more out on Shuck had he been named the starter right away because the inevitable fact is whoever was named the starter for the New Orleans Saints, in this case Spencer Rattler, is not finishing the season as the starter. One, that offense isn't very good. Two, neither one of them showed anything that looks like they are, potentially the future of the franchise to this point. Granted, Tyler Shuck has only played a couple preseason games, so take that for what it's worth. But we've seen the Spencer Rattler thing in the regular season a couple years now, and that's not it. That's not going anywhere. This is strictly hey, Shuck's not ready. He's our higher invested guy. We're going to run Spencer Rattler out there until he's just so bad we have to take him out, and then Shuck will come in probably halfway through the season. So I would have been more concerned had it been the other way around because I don't feel like the offense is there to support Tyler Shuck just yet. I think they still have to add a couple pieces. Alvin Kamara's, not getting any younger. I think that they need to kind of work on building the offense around to put him in a better position to succeed. So I think it's smart going with Rattler right now, but he's not the guy to own. He is an immediate sell for me. As soon as he has any double-digit fantasy point week, he will be shopped off my rosters.
I have a few shares of Rattler just because, he was sitting around on the free agency wire. And I kind of just want to people can hate. I think I'm going to go all in on Olave. So if you got any shares, let's make a trade. Olave is the guy there, and I think he has a full season. And if he has a full season, he's going to be a borderline wide receiver one. And to get him for pennies right now on the dollar, I think is a steal. Looking at the preseason, he was getting schemed open, and I think he understands that he needs to Brandon Cook this. He needs to catch the ball, fall down. And I think that's what he's going to start doing because when I watched him, the 2 catches he had, he instantly caught it, turned, and then if there was anybody there, he just went to the ground.
The Amon-Ra St. Brown or the Tyler Lockett or, yeah.
You just need to – you're a small receiver. Preserve yourself. I think he's going to do that.
Olave scares the hell out of me, man. So I have him. I have one share of him in a league where I'm rebuilding, so there's a lot less risk on me if he doesn't actually perform. But I think fringe top 12 is a tall task given who his quarterbacks potentially are. Again, there's no real weapons to kind of take off of him, right? Shaheed's fine, I guess, but he doesn't really scare anybody. Alvin Kamara is probably the only legitimate fantasy weapon in that offense, and that's because they schemed the entire offense around him. And the health concerns for Olave. So I really feel like the Saints offense is not going to be good enough to where Olave is going to have, massive touchdown upside. He has had 4 concussions, I think, between college and the NFL now. So he's obviously a little bit more prone to that than other people. There's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of risk there. I guess to your point, he is a bit of a buy. I do think that the whole community is a little low on him, but I would not be buying him, expecting that he'd finish as a fringe top 12, more like a fringe top 24.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. To each his own. But if you want Olave, you're more than welcome to make an offer.
I'll see where he's at.
He's sitting in We Hate Running Backs.
Oh, Jesus.
A league name definitely fits that startup draft.
Man, I really screwed. I think my team name is I blundered this shit. So
Yes, it is. I was looking at that yesterday and I laughed.
I had Brees Hall and Bijan Robinson, and I traded Bijan and kept Brees. And that's where my
What'd
season
you trade
went down.
Bijan for? What'd you get?
I got a haul for him. I'm pretty sure I got JT
Okay.
and oh man, hold up. I'll pull it up. It was something to behold because you yelled at me in that league. You started getting serious about fantasy football because I needed a quarterback. I had Deshaun Watson and Tua. And so I eventually used that to trade off for Bo Nix, which turned out to be good.
Yep.
But let's see. Not Bijan. Let's see. I traded Keenan Allen and Bijan Robinson for Jonathan Taylor, Bo Nix, and Troy Franklin. Which honestly,
that's basically Bijan for Taylor and Nix.
Yeah.
That's not a bad deal.
No, at the time though.
At the time that looked ugly.
Yeah.
Because, Nix wasn't what he turned into be.
Yeah, but Ryan, this is where you need to understand something. I know ball.
Okay, Troy Franklin lover. Let's.
Hey, dude, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. Just saying it.
Yeah, I will take a nap on this table right now on Troy Franklin. I will fall asleep instantly live and just snore so loud.
Go ahead.
Troy Franklin.
Go ahead. Look stupid. It's fine. I'll allow it. Troy Franklin will be the wide receiver 2 on that offense, and he will have more touchdowns than I bet you. Ooh. No, I won't do that.
Let me ask you one question.
What?
How good was the wide receiver 2 in that offense last year before they had J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, and Evan Ingram?
It was Vele.
That's exactly my point.
Second year, same coordinator. All that fun.
Way more weapons around him than he had last year.
Amen. To each their own.
He could be the wide receiver 2. Doesn't mean he's going to be anybody worth rostering in fantasy.
I think he is, but that's where we'll disagree. It's fine.
Once he dropped that touchdown pass in the preseason last year, it was over between him and Nix. Nix moved on.
Not true at all. Nix had an overthrow for him against the Bengals, and he had the first touchdown against the Bills in the playoff game.
Trash.
Okay.
Trash. Him and his 60 targets can go sit on your roster.
I think he's better than Rashid Shaheed that everybody's just about.
You were that way too. I tried to acquire him earlier in the offseason from you, and you acted like that. So you don't even believe that.
I think Troy Franklin will be better, if not the same.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
The same, sure. Equally as irrelevant. The Buccaneers, right? That's the last team we got to talk about. I don't know how we got on the Broncos.
Oh
now
my
I'm totally lost.
God.
The Buccaneers. Let's talk about their running backs. Obviously, a lot of people love Bucky Irving. A lot of people loved Bucky Irving last year. They turned out to be right. You were a Bucky truther last year. I have some news for you guys. Rachaad White's still going to be involved, like annoyingly involved if you were a Bucky Irving owner.
to the point where he's seeing probably somewhere between 8 and 12 fantasy points per game. Even last year, Rachaad White was over 10 points per game in fantasy. He's going to be involved. He's going to see third down work. He's going to see receiving work. It's something that he does very well. He may see some touches around the goal line. They will scheme plays for him from time to time. Rachaad White's going to be there. It's going to limit Bucky's ceiling. Will Bucky be an RB1? Probably, fringe. Rachaad White's going to be there. It's going to be annoying. You're going to hate it.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I don't hate that take at all. Rachaad White will be involved. Everybody hates it. Hopefully he gets injured and Sean Tucker can be a more efficient running back to back up Bucky. But that's here or there. But I see your next point here.
Yes.
And me screaming it drunkenly at Scott Fishbowl this year just validates me even more that I know ball.
I mean, he hasn't even done anything yet, so I don't know about that.
I just know, okay? I'm from the future.
So Chris Godwin on IR to start the season means he's out till at least week 5. Jalen McMillan's out past the bye. So that right there frees up a lot of targets for somebody named Emeka Egbuka, who was getting a steady drumbeat throughout the offseason that just grew louder and louder and louder. So flashback to draft time, Buccaneers pick him 19th overall. A lot of people are like, the expectations are low for the season. They've got Godwin, they've got Evans. McMillan, did some good things last year. Well, nobody hears anything about Godwin's injury progress all offseason. Jalen McMillan gets hurt in the third preseason game, ends up on IR. Mike Evans, people talk about how injury prone they think he is, even though he's only missed multiple games 1 year in the last 6 years, I think. And he still finished as a wide receiver 1.
Yep.
The door's wide open for Emeka Egbuka. And now it's reported, not reported, you could see it in the preseason game. He's not just limited to the slot like a lot of people thought he would be when he was drafted. He took some reps outside and actually looked pretty good doing it. Baker Mayfield's all over this guy, says he loves everything he does. Emeka Egbuka, is he a buy, hold, or sell? Well, let's throw the hold out. If you had to choose right now, are you buying Emeka Egbuka at an expensive buy, hoping that he outperforms his current value, or are you selling Emeka Egbuka based off all this noise?
I'm buying him, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This man is probably going to see 100 targets this year. And
I think he sees more than that.
well, yeah, more than likely, but I'm just, trying to temper expectations here. But he is going to eat in this offense. And I hear him and Baker have breakfast together, so we all know what that means.
Yeah.
I love this man to death. I wish I could get more shares of him, but I have to give over a first. People want a first and some, and I can't do it.
So you're not willing to buy him then?
I try. Like, I give more than what he's worth, but people are wanting more.
Dude, I think Egbuka's worth like a first and a second right now. Like, if you're not given that, you're not going to get him.
No, exactly. But, I mean, I think he's worth it. You know what?
If you think he's worth it, go ahead and send it. Go get it. Go get your guy. Today's overpay is tomorrow's underpay. Go get your guy.
Yeah, but I could go do a first and a second and get – I feel like I could get like Garrett Wilson and things like that.
Okay, so you'd rather have Garrett Wilson than Emeka Egbuka?
I feel like most people would, yeah.
Yeah. That's close for me. I'd probably still want Garrett Wilson. I think he's a tier above Emeka Egbuka. But, yeah, people are down. And I mean, that would be a great sell then. Flip Emeka Egbuka for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, if you could do that, do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin Fields only throws to his first read, which is going to be Garrett Wilson. So,
but it sounds like you're selling Emeka Egbuka right now. Doesn't sound like you're willing to buy him at his current price.
I will go out to the 10 leagues I'm in and see what I can do.
That'd be sick. I would love to see it. I would be so hyped for you. I don't have any shares of Egbuka, unfortunately.
I think I have 2.
It's somebody that I was anticipating on drafting a couple times throughout the draft process in rookie season. And then when May timeframe rolled around and our Dynasty rookie drafts kicked off, they went sideways so fast. Igbuka and Travion Henderson were two guys that I was expecting to leave drafts with. I left with none of them. I had to trade for my Travion Henderson share.
I was about to say,
draft him.
I think I have one Henderson share, and good luck getting him from me.
Yeah, Cam Ward and Tedero McMillan fell in a couple leagues where I was expecting to draft those guys. So I was like, yeah, I gotta take these guys.
No, and if you got Ted, that's good. If you got Cam Ward, sorry, you wasted a pick.
Sure. Go watch the film.
I don't care about the film. I care about production.
That's because you're dumb and don't know ball.
I don't know what you said. Your volume's really low.
You don't know ball.
We both know that's a lie.
Oh, last division to talk about, the NFC West. I've got nothing for the Cardinals. I think that they'll be
the winner of the division. Yes, correct.
Fringe top 12 offense. A lot of good pieces there. Kyler, another year with Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner. Says Trey Benson's going to be involved more. I'll believe it when I see it.
I'll believe it when I see it, yes. But no, we all know what we're going to get with this offense. We just hope Kyler Murray can get on the same page as Marvin Harrison Jr., and we can all be happy.
Yep. Rams, I got nothing. Stafford's Iron Man. He's going to play. It'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as Stafford's on that team, Puka to the fucking moon.
Puka, Adams, they'll both be fine. Kyron Williams will be fine. Yep. The 49ers. Brian Robinson traded for a 6th-round pick. What does it mean?
That means absolutely nothing to me. CMC is the guy, but that is a hell of a handcuff to have.
That is, wow, you took the words right out of my mouth. So we will move right on from that.
I mean, can we talk about Ricky Pearsall and his potential to be a wide receiver 1?
Well, that's my next note, man. It's
Ricky Pearsall. Sorry. I thought you already said that. I apologize.
Whoa. Ricky Pearsall has the capital and the opportunity, right? Brandon Ayuk on the pup. Jawan Jennings, hurt/contract. Yeah. George Kittle's still there. Christian McCaffrey's still there. But Ricky Pearsall, baby, up and up.
The move.
Former first-round pick that the 49ers traded up to get, I believe. And, yeah, it looks like that this is his time to shine. He got if Ricky Pearsall and Brian Robinson Jr. don't walk out to many men this season, that's going to be crazy. That's a missed opportunity. But after getting shot last year, getting the opportunity at the end of the season last year, Ricky Pearsall shined. He looked very good in those last 3 or 4 games. And I feel like him and Brock Purdy have just been working on that connection all offseason. I feel like Ricky Pearsall is still somebody that people aren't completely sold on. He's a guy that I think could establish himself and potentially finish as a wide receiver 2 this season.
I don't hate it. Don't hate it one bit.
Last team in the NFC West we're going to talk about is Seattle Seahawks. And I just have one question. How do you feel about Kenneth Walker?
I don't like him. I think if he stays healthy, monster. But what we've seen over the past few years, he can't do that. So I don't want to.
He's already been hurt twice this offseason.
Huh?
He's already been hurt twice this offseason.
Probably. I don't even know. I don't even entertain. If a trade has Kenneth Walker in it, I don't want any bit of it. Zach Charbonnet, on the other hand.
I can't wait to send you a Kenneth Walker trade after this show.
I will just decline.
Smash accept. No, I feel the same way. I feel like the scheme that was brought in by Clint Kubiak, the outside zone scheme, is perfect for Kenneth Walker's skill set. That dude, and I know running backs are more susceptible to injuries. Injuries are random, blah, blah, blah. He seems way more susceptible to it than any other running back in the league, it seems like.
Yep. And, I mean, it will be fine. They'll be fine. Sure. I don't think so. I don't know. I think the Seahawks finished last in the division personally, but that's just me.
So it sounds like your true answer is avoid, but if you had to buy or sell Kenneth Walker, where do you fall on that?
I'm selling him. If you own him, sell him.
If I had multiple shares of Kenneth Walker, I would sell till I have one share, but I only have one share, so I'm okay.
It's 0 shares.
Yeah, I did a really good job diversifying my Dynasty teams this offseason, which is good and bad at the same time. It's good because if dudes get hurt, like I'm not affected across multiple leagues. It's bad because now I don't have like a ton of trade targets. So,
True.
Jake, let's go ahead and wrap this show up. The last show we're going to do before NFL football action is in place. The Eagles and the Cowboys play Thursday night, where the Eagles will be raising their Super Bowl banner in front of their rivals, losers. Yeah, so any final thoughts that you would like to add before we close out this show?
Yeah, the Eagles are going to win by 7 easily. I think it goes over. I think the game ends evenly. And I forgot what my fourth bet was on that I made like 2 weeks ago.
So you've got an even score, you've got Eagles covering and the over.
Yeah. And then I have 3.5 field goals.
Interesting. Okay. Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of BSing Sports, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be here every Friday night when the gambling degenerate boys talk about what the locks are for the week. And, let's make some money together, right? This is not a me versus you. This is an us versus Vegas kind of thing. So go ahead and tune in. Jake runs a pretty good show over there. And then stick with us for Sunday mornings. It sounds like we'll be here regularly on Sunday morning. Talking about fantasy football. The topics will change a little bit from week to week. Now that NFL football will be back, we'll probably discuss some 2026 prospects next week, now that we'll have a couple weeks of film data. And the NFL season would have only been 2 games deep at that point. Not a ton to talk about there. So we'll probably start doing a deep dive into 2026 prospects next week. Talk about them regularly throughout the NFL season. So thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at BSing_sports, and follow us on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, if you were not able to catch this show live. Thank you. Have a good day.